This is the Roulette Master, and I can't wait to share with you this incredible roulette system that was just sent in by one of my subscribers, Joseph. He said that he's been winning consistently with this in the casino. He wants you to win as well. I can't wait to share it with you, and let's go ahead and get started. So we're looking at the last three numbers there, the 5, the 18, and the 15. One of those is in the first 12, the other is in the second. So we're going to start with a $10 bet on third 12. And let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. And the thing that you need to know about this is that you have to have three, whether it's a 12 or a column, you have to have three that miss before you start. And look, it worked on the first spin there. We're already up $20. Now we're going to look again for the next bet. And now we have a 28, a 5, and an 18. So let's look at the columns real quick and make sure that there's not one of those we can bet on. So the 28 there is there in the first column. The 5 is in the second, and the 18 is in the third. So we can go ahead and spin again, and you don't have to do that a whole lot, but we're looking for 3 in a row of a 12 or a column that has not hit. And then I'm going to share with you the progression that we're going to be using. And now the last three, we have 2 third 12s and a first, so we can go second 12 for 10. And let's go ahead and spin, and I'll share with you the progression I want you to use with this after losses. So here we go. That's a 29 black. Okay, that's a loss. So we're going to stay right there, and we're going to go from 10 to another 10. We'll have a second bet of $10. So we don't increase on the first loss, and that's a 32 red. Okay, now we're going to add the 10 plus 10 for a $20 bet, and we're on second 12. So let's go ahead and spin here and see what we get. That's a 25 red. Okay, so now we're going to add the 20 plus the 10 for a $30 bet. And if you haven't noticed, this is the Fibonacci sequence, but there's more to it than that. We're going to have $30 bet on second 12 now. And that is a 14 red, and we got the win. Fantastic. So you can see now we're up $40, and we're going to look for something else to bet on here. And looks like the last three numbers, the 14, the 25, and the 32, exclude the first 12. So we're going to go first 12 for $10, and let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. And that's a 31 black. Okay, and that is a loss. So again, our second bet on first 12 will also be $10. And here we go. That's a 21 red. Okay, and that's a loss at 10, so we'll take 10 plus 10. Now we're going to have a $20 bet on first 12. And here we go. So we're waiting for 3 that don't hit before we go to a certain 12 or column. And there's a loss at 20. So now we're going to take 20 plus 10, the last 2 bets, and we're going to have a $30 bet on first 12. And let's see what we get. And we got it. That's a 1 red. Fantastic. So we're up 60. Now the last 3 are excluding the third 12. They're just first 12 and second 12. So let's go third 12 for $10. And here we go. In the original Fibonacci 12 system that was on here, and let's place our next bet before I tell you the rest here. We'll also have a $10 bet for our second one here. But we made sure that the last one that hit wasn't the bet. And this is actually waiting for 3 to not hit. And since we're using columns and 12s, and we're up $70 now, then we can actually do this without waiting as much. And now we're going to have a $10 bet on second 12. It did not hit in the last 3 spins. And remember, you can go columns as well if the 12s are covered. And there's a loss, so we'll go from 10 to 10. Again, the second bet is the same as the first. And here we go. That's a 36 red. Okay, so now we'll take 10 plus 10 for a $20 bet on second 12. We're currently up $50. And Joseph says that he's been winning regularly with this one. And he said waiting for 3 to miss first really helps the progression, which is already great. And now we're going to take 20 plus 10 for the next bet. We always add up the 2 previous bets. Now we have a $30 bet, and that's a 16 red. And that's a win. So you can see we're already up $90. And now it looks like the last 3 numbers that have hit exclude the first 12. So let's go ahead and go first 12 for 10. And here we go. That's a 22 black. Okay, and that's a loss. So we'll be first 12 for 10 again, and let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. That's a 28 black. Okay, and that's a loss, so we'll go 10 plus 10 is 20. So we'll have a $20 bet on first 12 now. And here we go. That's a double zero, so that's definitely a loss. So now we'll add 20 plus 10 for a $30 total bet. Again, that's the Fibonacci sequence. We've just added some other elements into it to make it even better. And that's a 35 black. So now we'll take 30 plus 20, and we'll have a $50 total bet on first 12 now. And by us having 3 miss before we start, that really helps the length of the progression. And there's a loss there at 50. So we had 50 plus 30 to get 80. And let's go ahead and spin. And you won't believe how long it's been since that first 12 has hit. So that 3-head start really helps. And that's a 23 red. And you can see there aren't any first 12s on there. So we hope one comes up here soon. You can see that last bet there was 80. So we take 80 plus 50 to get our next bet, which is 130. And I'm feeling a first 12. Let's see if we get one here. Here we go. We didn't get it yet, but that's okay. We still have some bankroll left, and this is a $2,000 bankroll system. You can use $100 or $200 if you use dollar units. So we're going to add 130 plus 80 for our next bet, which is 210 total on first 12. And let's get a big payout here. Let's see if we can get this one. And we got it. That's a 1 red. So it'd been a while since that first 12 had hit, and by us starting with 3 misses first, that helped us get the win before we ran out of our bankroll. We're up $180 now, and it looks like the third 12 is not included in the last 3 spins. So we're going to go ahead and put $10 on third 12. Remember, you can also use columns if the 12s are not, if they all have hit in the last 3. And now we're going to put our second $10 bet on third 12. And a system similar to this made it really far in the bracket challenge. But I think it's even better with this waiting 3. And we're going to add 10 plus 10 and get a $20 bet now on third 12. It just lengthens the progression out, and that's a 9 red. Okay, that's a loss. We'll add 20 plus 10. We'll have a $30 bet on there now, and we're up 140 even after those losses. And let's see if we can get another win here. That's a 16 red. That's a loss. We'll take 30 plus 20, the last 2 bets. Now we'll have a $50 total bet out there, and let's spin. That's a 6 black. And that's a loss, so we'll add 50 plus 30 now. Now we'll have an $80 bet on third 12, and then we'll check our balance. But let's see if we can get a high number here. We did not. That's a 3 red. So now we'll take 80 plus 50 for our next bet, which will be 130. And if we look over there to the left, the last third 12 that hit is not even on the screen. So we're hoping one hits here soon, and we have a bankroll to last for a little while longer. So let's hope that we get one. And that's a 1 red. That's another loss. So we'll add 130 plus 80 for 210 on third 12. And I'm feeling it right here. Let's see if we can get it. If not, we'll be adding the 210 plus the 130. And we got it. That's a 28 black. And even if we had lost that, we could have placed another bet there. We're up $270 now. And it looks like the last 3 spins exclude the second 12. And in this case, it's actually the last 4 spins. So that's even better. And we're up $270. All right, here we go. Let's see what we get. That's a 14 red. And that's fun when you hit it on the first one. We're up 290. And they're all included in those last 3, the 14, the 28, and the 1. So let's look at the columns. And the 14's in the second column. The 28 is in the first column. And the 1 is in the first. So the third column has not hit in the last 3. So we can go right there for 10. And let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. Let's see what we get. That's a 21 red. All right, and we hit it right out of the gate. So now the last three are 21, 14, and 28. The first 12 is not included in those three, so we'll start on that. We're up $310. And I really like the Fibonacci sequence, and it's really easy to place your bets by adding up the two previous bets. And let's place our second $10 bet on first 12 now. We're up $300, and let's spin. See what we get here. That's a 20 black, and that's a loss, so we'll add 10 plus 10. We'll have 20 on first 12 now. Let's see if we get it. That's a loss with a 0, so we'll add 20 plus 10. We'll have a $30 total bet now on first 12. Then we'll check our balance. Let's see if we can get a low number here. We got a high number, the 27 red. So we'll add 30 plus 20 for a $50 total bet on first 12. And let's see if we can get a low number here. We got a high number again. That's a 25 red. So we'll add 50 plus 30. We'll have an $80 total bet now. Temporarily, we're only up 190, but once we hit, we should be up really nicely. Let's see what we get here. That's a 12 red. That's a win. So you can see now we're up $350. And now the last three are first 12, third 12, third 12. So second 12 is not included in the last three spins. So we'll start there for $10. And we haven't really had to spin without betting hardly at all this entire time. So that's pretty cool. And remember, our second bet's always the same as the first. So we'll place another $10 bet on second 12. And here we go. Okay, that's an 18 red. Fantastic. So we're up 360, and the last three exclude the third 12, so we'll start there for 10, and we're up 360. And the difference between this and the one in the bracket challenge was that one just made sure that you didn't lose the last number hit in that 12. This is making sure the last three spins are not included in the 12 that you're betting on, or the column, which is making it to where we don't have to sit out very often. We're up $380 after that win there. And so now you can see the 28, the 18, and the 12. The last three now are all in different 12. So let's look at the column. So the 28 is in the first column. The 18 is in the third column. And the 12 is in the third column. So the second column does not have a spin or a win out of the last three. So let's go ahead and start second column for 10. And this gives you a lot more things to bet on, which nice, we hit it right out of the gate too. So we're up $400 now, and I like that modification that we're using columns and 12s, and you know, you're starting with more in a row to bet against, and that's because we're using columns and 12s. And let's see, we have the last three are second 12 and third 12, so we'll go first 12 for 10. We're up $400, and here we go. All right. Again, you can do this with a $200 bankroll in dollar units, or a $2,000 bankroll with $10 units like what we're using. We're currently up $420, and we have all three covered there for the 7, 17, 28. So let's look at the columns. And the 7's in the first column, the 17's in the second column, and the 28 is in the first. So the last three spins do not include the third column. So we will start there. Again, we're at 420. And here we go. I love how by using both, we don't have to sit out as much. And we have extended the progression more than the original. So let's go ahead and put another $10 bet down on third column. Because again, the second bet's always the same as the first. Then we just start adding up the two previous bets, and that's a 27 red. And that's another win. So we're up 430. And now the last three numbers do not include the second 12. So we're going to start there, and we're up $430. Let's go ahead and spin. That's a 31 black, and that's a loss. So we'll do our second $10 bet on second 12. And here we go. Okay, that's 11 black. That's another loss. So we'll do 10 plus 10 is 20. So we'll have a $20 bet now on second 12. Then we'll check our balance again and see where we're at. That's a 28 black, and that's a loss. So now we'll add 20 plus 10 for a $30 total bet. And let's see what we get here. All right, that is a 19 red. And that's a win. So you can see we're up $450 now. The last three are first, second, and third. So those are all covered. Let's look at the columns. So we have 19, which is in the first column, 28, which is in the first column, and 11, which is in the second column. So the last three do not have a win on third column. So we'll start there. And by having 6 options like this, it really helps the game keep moving and give you a lot to bet against. And that's key. So you want to have as big of a head start as you can to this progression. And that's a 7 red. And that's a loss. So we'll double, or not double, but we'll add 10 plus 10. Now we'll have a $20 bet on third column. Okay, and that's a 6 black. Okay, we're at 470 now, and the last 3 are all first 12. So let's see, whichever one hit after that would be second. Let's go with third, since that's the longest, and that actually gives us a 4 head start in the progression. Let's go ahead and spin, and here we go. Okay, that's a 6 black. Okay, that's a loss, so we'll place our second $10 bet on third 12. We're at 460 right now. And here we go. And we got it. That's a 31 black. All right, so we're at 480. And the last 3 do not include the second 12, or actually the second 12 hasn't hit since the 19. So that gives us a huge head start in the progression, and that's even better. So let's go ahead and start there. And that's a loss with the 12 red. So we'll place our second $10 bet on second 12 again. And here we go. And that's another loss. That's a 7 red. So we'll add 10 plus 10. We'll have a $20 total bet on second 12 now. Come on, second 12. And we lost that one. That's a 5 red. So we'll add 20 plus 10 for a $30 total bet now. And I'm feeling a second 12. Let's see if we can get one. But that's a low number. That's a 1 red. So we'll add 30 plus 20. Now we have a $50 total bet on second 12. And let's get a win here. Come on. That's a high number, though. That's a loss. That's a 32 red. And now we're going to add 50 plus 30 for an $80 total bet on second 12. And you can see there isn't a single second 12 in the entire history on the left-hand side, but we still have plenty of chances left. Let's go ahead and we lost that one again. That's a 35 black. So we'll add 80 plus 50. That's a 130 total bet. Temporarily, we're down to 280 profit, but let's see if we can get this one. And that's a 4 black. And that's a loss at 130, so we're going to add 80 to that, and we'll be at 210. And let's go ahead and bet 210 on second 12, and let's hope we get a number right there in the middle. But we lost. That's a 31 black. So now we're going to add 210 plus 130. That's 210, 310, 340 on second 12. And here we go. This is why we have the $2,000 bankroll. So let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. And we got it. That's a 19 red. And we could have done it again. We're up $620 now, though, and that's why we have that $2,000 bankroll, and is in case you get a really long progression like that. And now we're looking at all 3 in the last 3 that have hit. So let's look at columns. We have 19, which is in the first column, 31, which is in the first column, and 4, which is in the first column. So you can go either way. Let's see, the 35 is in the second. So let's go third column for 10. It hasn't hit in a while. And again, we're up $620 now. Let's see what we get here. Okay, that's a 17 black. And we'll place our second $10 bet on third column. And here we go. Now you see the importance of bankroll. And I can't stress that enough. Patience and bankroll are so important when you play roulette. And if you start with a certain amount of bankroll, but then you don't use it and you bail out, then that can definitely cost you. But I understand why people do it sometimes. It's just you have to have a plan when you come in. We're going to add 20 plus 10 for a $30 bet. You need to have a plan when you come in and stick to that plan. And I know that's really hard for some people to do. And that is a loss at 30. So we're going to add 30 plus 20 for a $50 total bet. And here we go. Okay, that's a 5 red. And that's a loss. We'll add 50 plus 30. We'll have an $80 total bet now on third column. Let's see if we can hit this one. That's a 25 red. And that's another loss. So we'll add 80 plus 50. So that's 130 on third column. We're up 420 right now. Let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. And that's a 2 black. Okay, that's another loss at 130. So we will add 80 to that, and we'll be at 210. All right, let's go ahead and spin at 210. Here we go. Ooh, double zero. So one thing you can do when you're playing is, I do this a lot. If it hits 0 when you're playing, instead of going up in the progression, I leave the bet the same. So let's try that. And let's go ahead and spin here. Again, we're at 210 level here. And that's a 22 black. Okay, so now we're going to add the 210 plus the 130, 210, 310, 340 on third column. And hopefully that'll end up saving us by us, sitting out for that 0. But we still have almost all of our bankroll left still. We have a $2,000 bankroll. So let's just be patient and see what happens here. Okay, that's another loss at 340. So 340 plus 210, 340, 440, 540, 550. And let's put that out there. Okay, so even if we lose this one, we'll still have about $1,000 left. But let's go ahead and spend 550. And that is a 36 red. And we got it, $1,100 win. Look at that. And even with sitting out on that 0, we still are up $630. And that's truthfully, that's probably what saved us from losing our bankroll. So that's something you can not only use with this one, but you can use with a lot of roulette systems. If you hit a 0 or a double 0, almost always when you lose your bankroll, there's a 0 or double 0 involved. If you stop the progression for 1, when you hit a 0 or double 0, whether you're martingaling or whether you're going up by a unit, if you just bet the same when you lose on a 0 or double 0, sometimes that one time that you don't increase the progression will save you from losing your bankroll. So this was a very successful system. Thank you, Joseph, for sending this one in. And we won $630 on this one today. And again, I think that that's a really good tip there on the 0 double 0. Though don't increase the bet after you lose on a 0 double 0. I hope you really enjoyed it. I hope you're sending systems in. If you want to send a system in, send it to roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. Every day I pick my new system, and let's keep growing this great community, because the more smart people we have in this community, the better systems will get sent in every day, and then the better systems we'll have to review. And that's what's really fun for me. I hope you're enjoying seeing these new systems every single day of the week as well. Also want to thank everyone that's come on over from TikTok. You guys have been fantastic, and I want to thank everyone also that's been here on YouTube from the very beginning. You guys are amazing. Let's keep growing this community so we have the best roulette systems possible each and every day. And then we can try them out and see which one we want to use at the casino, and give us the best chance of having fun and winning money. And but remember, never play with money that you can't afford to lose, and always bet responsibly. And this is the Roulette Master, and have a great day, everybody.